I'm gonna continue talking about React hooks in this presentation. In the last presentation, I talked about just an introduction, what is it, the syntax, and how to use it. And this time, I'm gonna walk you through two questions: what is the hook, when to use it, and how to write it in a few steps. So, what is the hook? It's a special function that's a queue that lets you hook into React feature. For example, let's say, and this is the main example that we are talking about here, is a function. And if we know that the function is stateless, and let's say we want to use the state in the function without extending the whole React component. In this way, you can use the useState to hook the state into your function component without bringing all the features that uh, come up with the React component. When would you use it? Like as we talked here, if you have a function component and you realize that, for example, oh, I need some state to control, or I need some life cycle functions that I need to import. So you can, for example, for the case where you want to manage the state, you can use state, and for the case where you want to manage like the life cycle, you can something called use effects, and that's something I can talk about later. So here is a simple diagram here. If when you call use states, um, you can define a variable and you can assign a function to it. This variable can be array, can be object, can be anything. And it's a good thing that also you can pass an initial value to the use state. For example, if you add 0 here, the count will be 0. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time here. I'm just gonna go to the code, and I would say that React hooks, you can do the whole thing in 4 steps. For example, the first step will be to import and use state from React. So this is the first step. We import the use state. Now we define the function body, export default, because that's what we want to export, and function. The function, we call it hooks fun, and here we're gonna define the variable that we're gonna work with. This is how we do that. Constant count, set count, and here we use the state and we assign the value 0. And now we gonna call this function. We're gonna define a small div, just a simple one, and here we're gonna define a button to call our function, and we have this now. And thanks for the new JavaScript style. And here we're gonna call set count plus 1. And click me, close the button. Alright, and here let's print out the count. Alright, let's go to the example, what we have an issue here. What's the issue? It says parsing and expecting token. Okay, let's see. Button. What did I do here? Hmm. Oh, did not close. Alright, must be in scope. Correct. Search. Must be in scope when using JSX. Okay. I'm gonna go back to this. Oh, sorry. Look at this. Terrible. Okay, so we have it now. So as you can see here, we increase the value. Let's change this and assign it 5, for example. Go back here, it's 5. Then you're gonna continue increasing that. As you can see, we just import the useState. We define the variable that we need to manage this its state, and then this is where we call the function. I hope that was like really helpful for you guys, and have a beautiful day.